It's one of those things, right? It's a product of its time. Shonen anime back then, they kind of had to pad out the anime just a little bit, just to make it so that while the show was airing, got to give the mangaka a little bit of time to write out the story, right? So that he could stay ahead of the anime constantly, right? Consistently. And sometimes that became a challenge, right? Sometimes the mangaka, I don't know the exact story for Bleach, right? I don't know like what manga releases were like for Bleach. My assumption was that he was always kind of weekly, but maybe he had to take a break sometimes, right? For One Piece, I know Oda, the author of One Piece, he was the author of One Piece was the kind of guy who would just work every single day that he could work, and he would only take breaks when he literally had to, like legally. I don't know if that's the case for I don't know if Kubo-san had a similar, I want to say, schedule as Oda. I would assume close enough, because I don't think there is a lot of people who could work basically 360 days of the year straight, no breaks, making sure every week there was a new chapter of One Piece. Literally that was the thing, one of the things that Oda was known for. Without fail, he would drop a new chapter every day that it was possible to do so, every week that it was possible to do so. I don't think it would be fair to compare anybody to him, because he had an unhealthy work ethic a little bit. It was good for us, who are fans of One Piece. It was good for the fans, and obviously that was the reason why he was doing it, for the fans, and obviously he cares about his story, right? But I don't know, I'm not sure if Kubo was also the type to work as often as that, right? And then I do know that if you were writing for One Piece, if you're the writer of One Piece or Bleach or Naruto, right, during the early 2000s, you were probably one of the hardest. You're the top. It was they say top 3 manga, right? I think it's more I think it's more accurate to say the top 3 hardest working mangaka. Kubo, I'm sure he probably worked harder than most other mangaka in the industry at the time, right? Bleach and Naruto and One Piece all are ridiculous in terms of how long they are, and what kind of schedules they were expected to write for, and we don't see that a lot with manga today, right? We don't really see that a lot. So it's and I think that's a change for the better. But and also the result being, right? You'd be reliably getting a new chapter of your favorite manga, like Bleach, right? Almost every week, which is really good. Because sometimes manga, they don't have they'll go on 2 months hiatus every once in a while. I can't even remember the last time I saw a new chapter of before there was a new chapter of Kaiju number 8 I think a week ago, but before that I think it has been at least a month or two since I saw the one before that. I don't think breaks were ever that long for Bleach or Naruto or One Piece. And and again, the result being the anime would have to be as close to the manga release schedule as possible, while also having enough time to let the mangaka breathe a little bit. So the manga always had to be a little bit ahead of the anime, right? But then I think there were times where the anime would get pretty close to catching up, which is why they would pad out these anime episodes with long repeated like animations like that kind of drone on for a little bit longer in the episode than they probably should, and you kind of know they're trying to save a budget and trying to pad out the episode. And not only that, in even worse cases, they'll just have straight up filler episodes that have nothing to do with the manga, and it's just like we gotta have content out there because we got weekly watchers, right? We gotta satisfy the people who watch our show weekly. So it's not like I don't understand why filler was a thing in anime, right? When I say I don't, I was like a hater for like anime like Bleach and Naruto and like One Piece, right? Because I didn't like how much filler was in these shows, or at least how much filler I thought was in these shows. Like I know why there was filler, like, but I still didn't like the fact that there is filler. Like I kind of prefer the way that the anime comes out now, even though sometimes there might be like a couple years in between each season of anime, but the animation is great. The animation back then, again, no offense to Bleach, I'm liking the show so far. All right, it's pretty good. I'm still in setup, but it's setting up some pretty interesting concepts. But the animation quality, if you compare this to like season 1 of My Hero Academia, season 1 of Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man is not the best example because that's like CG. Like season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, even, right? Like there's like a stark difference in quality, right? But you're not getting like weekly episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen like across multiple years, right? You're getting like, if you're lucky, you get a new season of Jujutsu Kaisen once a year, and that's if you're lucky, right? But that also means you're not getting filler, which is nice. I feel like the way that we do things now is better. So like these anime with all the filler and stuff, the good thing is I can skip the filler if I know it's not good. But like yeah, like it also means like a lot of the content of a show just kind of feels like a little bit of a watered down experience as it could have been if they released episodes the same way that they do currently back then, right? Like if Bleach was able to release like one season a year, right, and they weren't so rushed in the manga, maybe I would have liked it more. I wouldn't have been so turned off by all the filler, right? At the time. But anyway, now we're getting into next episode of Bleach. That was a little bit of a long intro right there. But